What is up, YouTube? This is Fortress Striker coming here once again for another episode here at the DBS podcast. And here today, here's our special guest. We got once again our boy himself, Yeovani.
What's up, Kevin?
It's great to be back with you as well, and of course the returning Angel himself.
What is up, people?
How you doing, Angel? And of course, the rebellious man himself, Mr. NGV Alpha himself, Noel.
What up?
The third amigo.
Exactly. The triad has revived, but now becomes a four horsemen. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and discuss today's episode about these new secret rares that was revealed a week ago because it came out on a weekend, folks. And we did do the episode of recording before these cards did come out, but that doesn't mean the fact we still want to discuss about these cards, and then we'll do a little rating between them, and then we're going to discuss a very important thing about the newest buyouts that's happening this week here in the DBS game. So let's all go ahead and start off with the secret rares, and today we have the Gotenks, but I'm going to also read its first permanent effect twice because just today they announced a errata for it. So first things first, let me go ahead and read you the first effect. So it's an ultimate and double strike. Its original permanent did said reduce the energy cost of this card by 1 for each battle card with 15,000 power in your drop area. But its errata effect is now stating that you must reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each battle card with 15,000 power in your drop area. Its second permanent is negate the skills of all other battle cards. Its auto effect is when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and energy in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and place them in their owner's drop area. Okay, so who wants to?
It should also be stated that they said you can't search this with Planet Vegeta as well.
Yes. Is it my turn to discuss?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Alright. Real quick about this card. As a generic card, a secret rare, not that great, but in a control deck, it is phenomenal.
I have no comments. I think it's just dumb how you can't get it with Planet Vegeta.
Okay.
I mean, the errata made the card worse.
Well, the errata actually made the card better just because it was only a 4 cost while on field. Permanent effects, unless specified in a certain area, only activate on field.
I mean,
So-
that's fine.
So
I mean, you're good.
I was gonna say, so it was just it was just an 8 cost that you have to hard cast it onto the field, and then it's a 4 cost on field.
Well, one thing I'll say is that I always do hate when Bandai forgets that they do these things, because this happens before with the U3 regionally, and you had to errata these things late before the cards were coming out. I do wish they were going to put it in right. Please read. It's like we tell every player. It's funny how ironic that the people who make these games can't even read their own cards before printing them. Like they were rushed. They have to just please understand to read these before you print them out, so that players don't have to get confused. And this happens so many times.
It's the lost in translation.
It's embarrassing, to be honest, and I just think that's unfair.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Because it's like you hype the player and you didn't get you just errated before because you made a mistake. Like it's not like this card is broken, but that's only when
My thing is that they have playtesters before they reveal all these cards and stuff like that. So my thing is that like if they have playtesters, right, and I'm pretty sure they have playtesters that speak different languages, so they have them printed in different languages. If the playtesters that can read English or playtesting the cards, they should have pointed out a bunch of these things that needed to be errated before they revealed the cards and started printing.
Agreed. That's the worst part. I would agree also with Angel's point. I do like the idea that it does make it like a 4 cost in your hand instead of the field. It kind of makes more sense now when you kind of understand. It's not really a bad card. I do like the idea. It does like skill drain most other cards besides itself. You did said earlier when we discussed this before the recording, Angel, that it's more like helpful. You know, instead of like a straight up attack, it's more like you want to hurt your opponent before.
Right. That this card is I'm gonna follow up with you with it. This card is a good utility card, but unlike like majority of the secret rares we've always received, it is really in no way a finisher. It's more of a sit there, watch your opponent suffer after turn 4. For the fact that it's really hard to remove this card unless you have extra cards that can remove targets.
Or counterplay it when it's getting played.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is all.
And you did say like the only way to stop is like
Gosh,
by extra cards and certain skills like to prevent this card's effect to resolve, so that you can go ahead and just do what you can. Like you could basically cold bloodlust this guy, I presume, and then just maybe you can hold it.
Yeah. He does not have the Flector barrier.
Correct. So the thing with this card is that in the proper deck itself, ideally it comes out turn 4, and unless your opponent is planning to play around that, they usually don't have the 2 mana up after turn 3, because they're still setting up their entire board. Unless they're like preparing for either a swarm, for a 2 mana up for Topo, which could be used for a good counterplay. I don't see it really being affected by it.
Okay. Alright, that's fair enough. Okay, so I guess it's a good discussion about this card. Alright, so the next one is the final secret rare that was revealed, and I know for the fact this may have ticked you off, Noel, and many other players. That's great. It's just one thing is that if you see the red background here, it was supposed to be red, as people presume, but it was then revealed to be green. And it kind of like a little bit people disappointed about it. So, grade 8 Massaian Primal Charge. I'm sorry I couldn't read that well. So, its ultimate is, and its auto effect is, if your leader card is mono green and you remove this card in your combo area from the game, when this card is used in a combo, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. Activate main by paying 5 green energies. Play this card from your hand, and it gains dual attack and triple strike for the turn.
So, anyone else want to start this one off?
How about you, Noel?
I wish it was red.
But what reason why? Like, this card would be better if it was red, or anything else with the effects?
No, I just wish it was red.
Okay. Angel?
You wanted that red Yamcha, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted that red Yamcha.
We should have gotten the fusion of Yamcha and Tien.
Oh my god, yes. Tianxia.
That would have been the best. You know, this card, I know I said it to Kevin earlier, but it is the budget secret rare for green.
It pretty much is.
Like, it's good. Like, it's a dual attack triple striker for 5 mana. You know, that's not bad. You know, when it comes out, it's gonna have those effects, and it can't be hit by much counterplay. But besides that, it removes the battle card that's a threat. And that's about it.
I think it just asked for too much. There's 5 green energies just to play this and do all that. I think that's like more like a last resort thing, but I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care much for this card. Honestly, in my perspective, I think it's the weakest reveal we had. It is a shame it's not red, although at the same time, it gave me that thought, like, yeah, you guys want Yamcha, but to me, it was like, red didn't do much in this set as well, and I thought, maybe it's not the best to get the secret, but, you know, at the same time, it's kind of unfair that Bandai trolled everyone that it was going to be a red card, but in reality, it's a green card, and it's whatever. I mean, it's never going to reach the peak to where what Victory Strike Goku or Broly was going to be like. This card is like by far the weakest green secret area I've seen, and I kind of don't like it. So it's not.
And Sorry, repeat.
No, yeah, it's like nothing. Like we just had 2 yellow cards. One of them even is in our promo, and that's even way better than this card. And I prefer the Gotenks even with the Arvada. It's still way better than this card. And this card, and plus, out of all of it, this card doesn't even have barrier or deflect or anything. It just says ultimate, and that's it. So it's more like a card you want to use in your hand than you do in your field. So it's just,
I mean,
it's whatever. It's not worth it. And plus, like I said, 5
this ape
enemies.
is like the discount blue-green secret rare, but for mono green, and with a cool effect that you could pop some maybe combo. That's all it is.
I think that this card should have been kind of like the Bardock Unison at least, where it had a continuous effect of removal in the like when your opponent chooses a combo.
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like we should have gotten a Unison card, but then, I mean, we did get an extra card for a secret rare, and we did get a battle card for secret rare. We're never gonna get a leader secret rare because we already come out in promo, so that doesn't matter. But a Unison, that's actually a good idea. Maybe we might get that in the next couple sets, but who knows? But yeah, that's a good idea. But then again,
I mean, there was some people angry if the black Gogeta would have been a Unison in secret rare. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
you're walking a fine line if you make a secret rare Unison.
Yeah, but they saw the combo. They saw this combo. So, and Unisons don't have combos, so therefore they've been misjudged because they don't look at the cards well.
Actually, I just saw the energy cost.
No, but yeah,
but
that's it. If you see an energy cost, you know it's obviously going to be a battle card. It's only when they have like X's on it, then yeah.
That is true.
Okay, so that's pretty much with this card. You gave your discussion, right, Gio?
No, I had to take a call real quick. I was muted. No, but I said it. It's the discount blue green secret rare from mono green, and it has its niche. Like if you buy a pack and you pull it, you won't be upset that you did because like green is a lot better in set 10, but like I can't rave about it. So.
Yeah, but it'd be a sad point for everyone to see they got this card, and this card's just gonna be sold to like most of the stores or trade, or maybe you could save it for later on. But then again, no one wants to play this card. Period.
I mean, I think it'll still be like $100 though.
For now.
No. Probably on release, but it'll probably go like the Black Dragon Balls and just drop massively.
But the Black Dragon Balls are 100 right now.
Well, remember they were sitting at a little 50 for a while because no one wanted to use them.
And then they got bought out twice.
Yeah.
One
thing about this card though is it's just Shugesh Goku kill for 1 mana.
LeBron James.
Mama.
Exactly. So
Come back to the Heat, LeBron. I miss you.
The Dynasty.
Actually, no. Come to the Utah Jazz. Jazz.
No. You just killed his career.
They're like they're second best in the West Coast, right?
Yeah. How long did that took him?
I mean, hey, the NBA's back though. They announced their schedule today, so I'm hyped.
They did? Just basketball.
All right, let's not. Come on, not Gio. Come on. You said you didn't want any distractions. Now you're doing it.
Hey man. We're hyped. We gotta get hyped over something. But anyway.
Yeah.
So lead us on, Kevin.
Okay, so we already discussed all the secret rares, including the promo secret rare. Now the question is, how do you rate them? So I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna let each and every one of you guys go. So obviously the lowest will be the green secret rare. I didn't really like it. Didn't really think it's gonna be good for a while. And for value, I will say, maybe around the $50 mark. But if it still sits there for like a few more sets, it probably go even lower. So up to 40, to like at least a minimum of $40, and that's about it for a while. For the next one, the second worst and third best card, I guess, if you want to say. I guess it's between the Gotenks and the Shin-Shenron. But personally, as much as I do like the Gotenks, I do like the Shin-Shenron. That card really was good for me. I mean, it's okay if you guys want to reverse it however you want, it's fine. but I think the Synchron is like the second best. I do like how it has deflect and blocker, and you can just reuse this card a lot of times. Plus, you can summon it for every amount of 1-drops you have in the drop area, and it doesn't require any color cards. So you can play this in any color decks. Angel gave the good idea for like you can play this in like around green and yellow. So like, for example, and it's really good, you know. And of course, the best one will obviously be the Gogeta. It's really like the best card. Of course, Black is gonna take another win in this one. Its effects is pretty good. It's a little limited though, as Angel told me before, but I do say it's still better because it has its weight around the game, and for not just for just black decks, but for other color decks. Since you know, say it is a black card, and black cards are basically neutral for most decks anyway. So I say this is the best weight so far.
Well, I'll be quick with this. You know, we got, let's see, so we're going from worst to best?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, so the worst one's the green one, then Gotenks, Shenron second, and Gogeta, the Trishula, is the best card by far. Honestly.
Alright.
This is not even close.
Alright, so it's a tie between me and you.
I agree with Geo, except for I think the Shenron and the Gogeta are tied. Just because of the simple fact that Gogeta really doesn't it does a lot. It does a lot. But like it's kind of like I know I'm gonna kill you, so let me just play this to flex on you, kind of secret rare. Because you can't play any battle cards once you play it, so you have to have an established board beforehand. So if like you're playing against hand destruction, you top deck that card, and you can't, and they have a massive hand, you're not killing them. It's because there's no point in playing it because it just stays there and you can't play any battle.
Well, to counteract that a little is that it's actually really good for that because especially if you're up against hand destruction, because now they have a 45k beat stick. You have a 45k triple strike beat stick that can't be removed, and it's a hard body to hit itself.
Yeah, they'll just ignore it and just kill you.
True.
Okay.
But now you have 2 cards in hand.
Okay.
Yay,
And 2
that's
mana.
what to sit with. Yay.
Alright. And Angel, what's your list?
You know what? Definitely, it's gonna be Gogeta at the worst, with the Great Ape that's the best. It doesn't matter about the.
Wow.
Nah, I'm messing around. Honestly, for me, it really comes to respective decks. So it's hard for me to tell all these guys because on paper itself, yeah, the Gogeta looks the best, but in a respective deck, the Gogeta may not see much play because a lot of decks are aren't really monocolors. They're dual colors.
SS3 plays it for free, and Reboot Soul Striker plays it for 1.
What?
SS3 plays the card for free because you pay 5, untap 2, untap 3. It's free. And Reboot Soul Striker pays it for 1.
Right.
So there will be decks using it, so it's not like it's not going to see play.
No, I'm not saying it's not going to see play. I'm just saying, like, with a lot of decks being dual colors, it might not see as much play because it does have a lot of restrictions to it, in my opinion. Like Noel said, you can't play other battle cards. So when you play this card, you basically have to kill your opponent, or have your board established. It is a good resource card. That's why, like, on paper, yes, it's one of the best ones. But in their established decks, the Shenron and the Gotenks, I do believe, are actually better than this one. And with that being said, I do think by itself, Shenron, like I said, in the respective decks, Shenron's the best one, followed by the Gotenks, then the Gogeta, then the other one.
The Mass Saiyan Ape.
Yeah, I mean, we already forgot its name.
Broly wannabe.
I thought it was the SS4 Vegeta wannabe, but yeah, you hear it.
I mean, the only reason why I say it's a Broly wannabe is because it's basically for people that are playing green that can't afford to sell Xeno and they can't afford the Broly. So we just throw this in there.
Yeah.
I'd rather struggle than to get the fucking secret rare cards than this garbage.
Hey man, one man's trash is another's treasure.
That's true.
That's-
You know, this card's gonna be really good
Well-
eventually in the
well-
future. Hopefully.
We're lucky right now we're getting toilet papers back, because otherwise I would have used this for toilet paper in the end.
Oh my god. Oh, this guy.
Oh my god.
Hey, you can't wipe.
Please love us, Bandai. We love your game.
No, just the card. I'm not dissing them. I'm just dissing this card.
Look, you can't. That doesn't work because you can't wipe shit with other shit. Just doesn't work. You just end up with more shit.
Well, that I've also heard that.
I'd rather take my chances.
Well, I think that concludes our secret rare portion of this show.
Yeah, so pretty much. And I know a lot of people have the special rares, but I did said I'm not bothering with them. Like, I've seen them, so if you guys can just check it out however you can, either on Facebook or anything. And they're not bad looking. For once, they don't have like the black backgrounds or special hollows like they have in the last sets. But I honestly,
I mean, Black did not get an SPR, man. They can't buy one.
Oh, they never got one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that sucks to be them. Oh well. Anyway. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and let's discuss about the most important thing here in this group. Okay, so
Sets and drop-offs?
yeah, so we're gonna talk about these buyouts that's going on crazy. So
Buyout market section. Everybody's favorite.
it's crazy. So before I go to discussion, I want to ask Noel a question. Since he's in Utah, I want to know his thought. Like, what's been going on in the buyouts over there in Utah? Like, do you know so far, Noel?
Everyone's just like, why is this car getting bought out? What's happening?
Okay, and
That is most of the player, but
that's true. And what's your thoughts on the whole buyout?
As long as they don't touch the cars I want to buy, I'm good.
Okay. So far, let's go ahead and discuss which card we're going to talk about. And this one card I'm going to start off with because this is something I need to talk about to each and every one of you, and I have to be truthful. So it's the Chi-Lai Frieza Force Soldier. This card has been
near and dear to your heart.
It's very dear. It is dear to me because it is Frieza Army, and it's been since the Broly starter deck and since set back in set 6. I did originally wanted to buy this card, but they didn't have it. They only had it in the starter sets, and they were really expensive at the time, like about up to $20, and I didn't want it. So I have to be honest with you. A lot of people are wondering why is this card going up in price. Originally, there was a saying where they were showing at least 3 cards in 3 different stores that at least have one. One of them at least about $3, another $3.49, then one was like $4, and then the rest were just 2 of them just being peril foils.
I mean, the foil's 20 and the non-foil is like 12 to 18, somewhere in that range. So
yeah,
it's skyrocketed.
But it was also purchased by me, so I'm maybe the reason why this card went up in price because I bought out the last 3 comments.
I mean, it's you want to play Green Frieza, and that's where a lot of people
I had to get this card. It had to be done, and I did look up in eBay. Now, in the eBay, they are having this guy selling it all the way back in Australia. No, well, yeah. So I did look it up. It did sell about $2.78, $3, and $4. I'm like, okay, I could buy that. Here was the issue. Because it's back in all the way in Australia, they're charging you about at least $20 for shipping.
Yeah, that's not bueno.
That's not worth my time. And I was thinking maybe getting the foils before they're gonna go up, but they went too high, and I'm just thinking, oh no. And I only need just one more Chi-Lai. And I really don't care for the foil, to be honest. I'm okay with non-foils. I'm not really expensive with it, but
I mean, yeah, but we're not paying 12 to 18 wherever it's at for a
no.
one.
For like that's ridiculous. Like if I'm getting like a couple cards out of it, yeah, but anyway, yeah. So what are your thoughts, guys?
You know, you gotta grab. If you know you're gonna play something, you gotta grab it while it's cheap. This market is just showing things are gonna go up, and they're gonna go up quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Angel?
Or you can be a low budget, low tier hero.
You know, Buyouts isn't really my thing. It's like you said, I just play whatever is in my budget, whatever I want, I get before they buy it out. And low budget hero, yeah, just play yellow. Nothing gets bought out in yellow.
Yellow is also the most expensive color.
Wow.
Okay, that's not fair. The ape is the one that skews the entire curve.
Basil, Bergamo, Bardock Ape, Draw 2 Ape, Sell Secret Rare.
Damn, he got you. You 6 secret rare.
Yeah, I can disagree with that.
True. I will agree with there. It is one of the most expensive.
Okay.
But if you're building budget, it's super easy.
But that's as much as you can do, and that may cost you a little bit more than you believe. But anyway, so the next card, obviously this is something we're going to be fastly discussed, and that's the SS3 Tag Team Gohan.
The hype is back. Vegix is here.
I have no comment.
But, you know, the hype is back, ladies and gentlemen. Tag Team Gohan approaching $300. And I'm guessing it's for the Gamers event, you know, that's coming up next month. And
it's banned.
Huh?
It's banned. Like JK.
What?
Oh, don't worry. Once I reach that $300 mark, it's banned.
Banned. You know,
it was all part of the plan.
I mean, but this card makes sense. The biggest surprise, there were 2 surprises for today, because there were buyouts that happened early this morning. But like, there were 2 buyouts that were surprising. This one actually makes sense. This one, you know, for playing Vegix, it's a 0.5. You know, it's the juggernaut of the format. Like, makes sense. You know, I don't want it to be $300. I don't even want it to be 150, 120, 100. You know, like, I understand its price, but you know, like,
you just
what it is at this
you just want to be like me, like it doesn't pass the $20 mark, because at least $20 is a good maximum, because you're paying $80 for 4 copies.
I mean that's my threshold. Like, over $20 is kind of like, you know, like if it comes back then, cool, we'll get it. But you know,
$20 1 cent, that hurts me.
But you know, the biggest surprise today. Well, I mean, we all know it's for Vegix. We all know it's hype. I mean, there's not really much to say. But the biggest surprises today were Liquor and Corin Universe 8 Destroy an Angel, which got bought out and was at $110 from $20. And Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku Heartfelt Plea that they were 10, and I think the SPR was in like the teen, where the SPR is approaching 150 and the SR is like 20-ish. I mean, but like, these 2 just came out of nowhere. And Lineker and Corin, that 110, I'm sure there's people, you know, that are just right now just like, wow.
Wow.
Live it.
You pretty much read the list you just sent me, Gio. Gio. Oh, of course. Okay, so he did bring him up, but let's discuss that. So it is Liquor and Corin, Universe 8 DAR. So that I did see that post today. It did reach like that amount. I think that's just unbelievable. But like, my question is, what deck is actually gonna be playing that? Because we know that multicolors are not gonna be a big thing, but the one thing I'm guessing might have to be the closest that might be right now, and that might be the Surge Broly deck.
Yeah, I think that's the only red-green thing that I could see using that.
What about the red burn deck with the SS3 Gohan? Doesn't this go hand in hand with it? Because you gotta cheese out the Gogeta with it.
What Gogeta?
The Gogeta that burns for damage when it's tapped for Alliance.
I mean, the Gohan uses it, but like, it's for Brawly Surge. It's really what it is.
Okay. So I'm guessing Broly Surge might be the next might be coming up little by little. It just being like lay low for a while until it's being shown to like the meta.
I don't know, maybe.
Cause we had
Did
this.
my mic echo?
No,
Or
you're
no?
no, you're fine. You were just out for a bit.
Yeah.
No, yeah, not like out like out like to you're out of the mic. I mean like out like you were talking to someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but I'm thinking, yeah, because we have discussed about this deck. We weren't really believing it much. Like this deck is a little weird for me because I never seen it before much, but it could, like I said, it might come back little by little. So we'll just wait and see. So far, next one is Son Goku Dawn of Divinity. So, what's your thought on that?
That card is dumb.
Explain.
It has offering. I forget what it does, but it has offering, and this says something about you like draw 3 cards, or they have to. Like if you don't take a life, you get to draw 3 cards, something like that. And there's a way to cheat it out with another card. I forgot what it was, but that's the reason why I got bought
out. Do you know the price that it's going for, Gio?
SPR is 25 and the normal one is $10, I believe.
Honestly, that's not really much of a big buyout. I think that's okay.
I mean, the cards were $3 and the SPR was like $5, so quite a big difference.
I guess that's true, but it's not like it's gonna be big effect yet until it probably might be a huge main thing that people need. And then if it does get higher, then I guess we'll have to check it out in our ratings. And the last card you sent me right now is Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku, a heartfelt plea.
Oh yes, that's what I was talking about. The other card that surprised today.
Okay, so how much is it going for, and what's the reason?
Oh well, I said that already. I believe I said that the SPR was approaching 150 and the normal SR is 20. For Kid Crew, there's a Kid Crew deck that was shown and on the Facebook group, and I think it caused people to buy it out. Like, I can't really think of another deck really. Maybe like a red yellow, but I don't know. It has to be for Kid Crew. That's what I'm imagining.
Okay. Anything you guys think about, guys? Noel?
I just wanted to buy it, now I'm upset. Now I'm upset I can't.
And
now it's too expensive.
Does this hurt you because you need it for your main deck right now, or for anything else?
Deck. I was gonna buy it for a regular P2 deck. Now it's just...
Okay. We were discussing about that you did win a Utah with a Vegex Boo deck. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks. I didn't win, but I would have technically gone undefeated.
Yeah, we were talking about how they give you a loss for being late.
Yeah, they never give me a round loss. And if you're late, they always give at my local. They always give me a bye. They always give the person a bye. And I wasn't even that late. I was like the round had just started because I had showed up, paid in. I showed up on time, paid in, then had to go back home real quick. I lived down the street to go pick up my deck, and then I came back.
Okay.
So like, yeah. So if it hadn't been that, I would have gone undefeated, and then we would have had to play another round, and I would have had to gone against of some jank Vegito deck that Vegex would have stopped on.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens. He does that to a lot of decks. It happens.
That's fine. And I did hear that a lot of people, and we did discuss that a lot of people stopped playing their game and they went to go ahead and check out your games because they were very fascinating and surprised about the type of build you were making in your deck.
Yeah, for like you made the deck work without that Trunks
and without Tag Team Gohan.
Tag Team Gohan? What? The deck is running, and I'm like, yep.
You know, a lot of people tend to net deck in this game, and that's why some of these cards get bought.
Clutch, I'll never let him die.
Exactly. Okay.
But I mean, the reason we're doing this like whole buyout thing is to let all our viewers informed and let them know of all these price changes. So then, if they were expected to be able to buy the cards now, they can make some alternate plans because it's kind of, for some people it's kind of frustrating. They save their money and they want to buy this one card, and then all of a sudden, swoop, people come in. It's super expensive. So
Yeah.
just letting you all know, and so you can make some changes to your budget, like not like make more money or anything, but just like just like, oh, I don't gotta spend money on this card, or maybe I just buy another.
And we also should. You think you forgot one more card, but I do want to discuss because we did discuss this in last week. But let's also talk about this one more time, and that's the Frieza Pod. Now this card we did discuss about was like $6.49, but now as of today it went up higher. Now it's worth $9.99.
Yeah, closer to $10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just green Frieza type, and that's a card that a lot of green Frieza decks are running. So that one actually made sense. It wasn't like out there type of a deal. So
Yeah.
he must have been hype.
I mean, I already got received my 3 cards in the mail the other day.
Nice.
I obviously not gonna get a 4th one. I don't know unless you have an extra, Noel, because I did trade mine and I didn't remember and I didn't know if I did trade. But I'll probably ask you maybe later on after this podcast.
I don't have any. Sorry.
Okay, then never mind. We did discuss this via an Angel, and we come to this conclusion for now that black and green are going to be the big top decks at this point. Blue may come by maybe a little later, depending how it is, because we usually do see by the week of the release that people do see these decks like a little, like, the colors of cards are being purchased. Sometimes they go lower in price, or they're like the big thing for now, but then like maybe in a couple weeks they will, if like one color deck like blue might come back just in case, like if anything goes out of the ordinary. I know Angel hasn't been able to say anything, but I want to know, my question to you, Angel, is that, so my question for you would be, what are your thoughts of these buyouts that we discuss and future buyouts of the certain type of cards that can happen in the future before the set is released or even after the set is released? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm just still surprised so many cards are getting bought out right now, especially when like there's no real playtesting going on. It's a lot of like online stuff that people have been testing out on and creating the buyouts for.
I mean, there are people playtesting for gamers, so like there is actual playtesting happening.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying like a lot of like there's not that many like locals. That's really where I see like buyouts come from, is a whole bunch of big tournaments and locals. Without that many being in, that's why I'm surprised myself. But like you said, there are other playtesters around that I just don't know of. And I think for the future sets, when it comes to buying out, it's going to be hard to really tell. It all depends on how the set 10 meta really stabilizes, because it's like Gio said multiple times before, is that when a new meta comes out, the first deck everyone wants to play is aggro. So that's why like Vegex is going to be really strong, and what's the counter to aggro right now is control, which is why Frieza is going to be strong as well from the start of the meta. That's just like how my insight of it and what I think is going on. So future buyouts, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I know that I feel like yellow and blue, they're going to be rising up, if not by the end of set 10, the start of set 11. But that's just my personal opinion, that I think those two decks are just going to be like they're sleeper controls right now.
Okay. Let's see. And you did wanted to ask this certain special question. Is it okay if I read it for you?
Go ahead.
So Angel asked a very good question, saying, "Will set 10 prices drop off?"
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I think from past experiences, every set after the set comes out, like the first 3 days, everything always drops in price. Just because the set is out and people are learning what the pull rates are and so on and so forth. I don't think that's going to change this go around because of COVID-19. People aren't going to be buying as much. There isn't going to be as much stock That's where I think it's heading.
Angel.
It's hard to really tell. Like you said, usually when the sets come off, the first few days, the entire meta kind of changes for better or worse. Like not meta. The prices change. They really drop down for a bit, and it's not until like after a while that the prices really come back up. Like usually like a month afterwards. Like the prices start off high, then they drop down after 2 weeks, and then come back up. And then that's the real question: is when are they? If they're gonna drop down again and stay down. I feel like green might be one of the decks to really drop down. Our colors to drop down in price.
Well, I disagree heavily on that, but for the set 10 prices, I don't think they're gonna drop. I think they're gonna like the unisons are all expensive, and I'm anticipating them if people are gonna grab the really good ones. But Kevin, you asked buyout and what we should buy in the future. I'll give everybody that card. You need to go buy yourself some dormant potential unleashes. Make sure you get a playset. That card is really, really good. And if you don't think it's that great, just pick up one. Play with it. See how it goes. You know? But that's the one card to answer your question, Kevin, that people really need to have their eyes on. It just depends. It depends on the pull rates. It depends how many SRs and SPRs we get on the bottom. And it's just we just have to see what it is. If we get more SRs and less SPRs, the SPRs could go through the roof. We don't know.
Okay. For me, this was a very difficult question because I usually would love to give a straight answer, but did give me a good thought about it, and I did hear each and every one of your discussion. So it is like agreeable for some of you that yes, some cards may stay as they are for a while, and some may go higher. But the way how if it gets dropped, it will take a while because I do see how the game can change a while. I know mostly we are focused with where Vegix is doing and then Frieza until set 10 comes, and then by then when the new cards and as well as the promo cards are coming out, it could be a lot of changes that we do rank it up how the way like we were like ranking which deck is the top and like by color or anything that's going to take over the game and whatnot. But
Frieza really needs those promos. So.
It does.
Yes.
That's the main reason, which is obviously going to make green the second best deck after it since, and of course Vegix still going to be top no matter what. But I don't know because it's going to be like I always see this as the next set 6 but a little more aggressive, and sooner or later the way that things are with these buyouts are getting worse than when set 6 was releasing the starter deck, and that card and that's just only going $72. And nowadays I'm seeing these cards being reprinted back in the booster boxes and people are buying it cheaply and it's fine. But now with all this is like the complete opposite. Now it's worse. Everybody can't even be able to get cards. It's like you have to buy something from a draft box, and they're not even draft box cards. These are just cards from something else, and yet somehow a buyout from this is not making the cards go up, which is kind of ridiculous. It's like, what is this? Like now it's like
they
it's
really
like,
need to have like a Megatin from Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's like that, yeah, exactly. They need a Megatin. Like I don't want just an anniversary thing to do it once a year. No, like they should do it like a Megatin like a few months and like not overprice it. Like just put it like about $20 or like even less than that. And like that's fine. So that's why players can come by and newer players too to get some cards and come with ideas and decks. Yeah, I know it hurts like certain profits and stuff, but at the same time you're not, but because of card rarities. But
that the draft box card is like grossly overpriced. It shouldn't be $100. It's worth more than a regular set, and you get less cards in it.
Exactly.
That's
I think.
And we don't even draft in this game. To make it worse.
Yeah.
And nobody buys a draft box to draft. They buy the draft box to get draft box cards, so that way they can power up their decks. And that's the problem that Bandai needs to fix. I think they need to go back to what they did before, where it was not previous sets. If draft box is a previous set, I think they need to do it half and half, where it's half exclusive cards and half previous set cards, so that way you get a chance for reprints. It,
So everybody should check out our theme versus Draftbox podcast because
That episode,
we
yeah,
had
yeah, you could
yeah
yeah.
we had some.
you could
So
always check it
so
out, but
it could still be a little mini set where you get themed cards and there have exclusive draft box cards that you can put into your decks, and but like they don't have to jam pack so many cards in the draft box, and like maybe the pull rates will be more reasonable, but at the same time you still get a chance for previous sets to be reprinted that maybe a certain store didn't get enough, or it just was certain cards were short printed, but then they reprint it and they make the pull rate higher in the draft box, and lower the price because the draft box is not $100 worth, bro. I'm paying more for less. That's ridiculous.
exactly.
Yeah, I
And-
mean the ultimate box at least brought a binder in a box.
Exactly.
But
I was also
remember
gonna
it.
say like a little bit to that to rebuttal. I was gonna say like you think about it, the draft books were our versions of the Megatins, but yeah, I think they should have changed the name of draft box because draft has a certain reason of the term and people
Yeah,
and
nobody
that
uses
makes no
those things.
sense. And when Yu-Gi-Oh did Megatins or when Pokemon they sell those special boxes and everything, they give you packs and some other cards and whatever. At least you're getting something out of it, and they're not gonna cost you as much, Besides what Pokemon they do price it a bit, but that's a different story. But with Yu-Gi-Oh it's a better terminology because they do sell like at least about up to maybe $15, less than $20 sometimes. And yeah, I know it hurts some of the cards prices, but at the same time, isn't this what people wanted? They wanted to get the card so that way they can go ahead and play. Like that's the idea. I mean, who cares if it goes down a little bit price? You could just go ahead and sell it ahead or anything. But if you already have the card, who cares? And either way, you could just give it to like new players or whatever, or just in case, or your brothers and sisters they want to try the game. It doesn't matter. And plus, you're gonna get free packs, and you have an open space to go ahead and you put your cards in so you can save them. Just since you're gonna have like a million cards in your house and you have nowhere else to put them. And the best part is like it helps product because that way they actually not losing money. They only lose value of the cards, but they're gonna gain a lot because a lot of players are gonna buy these tins and they can go ahead and just save them for themselves for whichever way possible. But then that's not gonna happen now because it's already too late because the draft boxes are going overpriced. People can't afford them, and these cards are going over the limit that they afford, and it's gonna hurt them. It just hurts people.
This is exactly true. The draft boxes are the bane of this game's existence, and here is something. Well, I guess we'll talk about this next time, but I'm going to bring up this point. Since Core TCG and PPG and Top Covet events, they're doing onlines where you get event packs and champ packs. I believe you get 5 and 3. I forget what the ratios are, but you get 5 and 3. And they come with the medical unison, and they come with the draw to ape and all that. Like, how much do you think that medical unison is gonna be? Because I'm afraid it's gonna be like 100, 150, 200. Like what? Like, because you can't get it, and the only way you're gonna get it is through these online events, through the store championships or regionals. But who knows what places are gonna have store championships? And the next regional is in September, and we're hoping that it will go through. And even the event next month, I'm not sure if they're going to have this as pricing. They'll have the tournament packs, I believe they said. So
I'm gonna say like
this could be the next kind of like not problem, but a little kind of like headache, because people really want these draw 2 apes and the meta cooler, the Gogeta unison, the Vegex champ pack, So like. The fact that I guess I'll save this for next week, but like capping it at 64 players and then only those people get a chance at it was not the right move,
No, it isn't. Yeah, and I was gonna say like, of course, knowing Gohan, since it's obviously gonna be the next meta deck, I'm guessing probably a little bit more for meta coolers and stuff. So.
I mean, like they really need to like I adopt like the alternate art. Like if you're gonna have a promo, just make it an alternate art. So like that way we have the real card, the regular card, and an alternate art version. I don't care if the alternate art's more expensive, but like we'll have access to the regular card.
Okay.
Because these Dropbox prices, they're like if they're out of print. And the Wave 2 didn't really do much for Dropbox 5, and people are like, oh, well now we can snatch these cards, like if people notice that they're starting to go, Now, what price do these cards have? They could be anywhere from 50, 60. It's whatever the market's willing to pay.
Okay. All right. Angel, out of hearing all this discussion, we want to hear your thoughts as the player himself, as one of the biggest top players now in the game. What are your true thoughts about all of this before we come to an end here today's episode?
I do agree with Gio. With these event packs coming out, a tournament should not have been limited to 64 people. I understand that it would be. I believe it's an online tournament, is what it was, right? It wasn't an in-person.
Yeah, they're online.
I understand that they couldn't afford to do an online one after the last big event when a lot of people came in. Like it just crashed multiple times. I understand that full well, but to limit the supply that people can even get is gonna hurt. We don't, with no events coming up that require these, the back end market's just gonna upchart all these cards and kind of counteract what they were trying to do a little bit, especially with the reprints. They were trying to give the reprints out to give like newer players a chance to get these cards without splurging a ton of money. And yet they're gonna have to do that anyways for a just for the same cards, because now they have they're even harder to acquire, and only the shop owners that have them, that will never host their tournaments, can sell 'em. Or will have.
I think Bandai messed up real hard with this. They like if you're gonna reprint a highly sought after card during this whole entire pandemic thing. I understand like it's a chase card and you want people to come to your events and stuff like that, but physical events are happening right now, and to limit the amount of people on an online tournament is just stupid. So
Well, yeah, like I said, we're gonna have like the full discussion of this next week because I didn't want to interrupt this whole like really good buyout discussion. But yeah, like limitations are kind of what the draft box presents, and even some of the older sets that are bought out, like these are like if you can't get it, you gotta have it, and that produces the want and the demand and the supply and demand. And so they need to get better at giving us more product to buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I think they should. What they could do is like have a draft box where it's new cards and then a previous set. So like let's say draft box, they already have draft box 5 coming out, right? Or 6, sorry, draft box 6.
6.
Draft box 6 with new Hurrigan support.
Yeah. So draft box 6. So like let's say they take my advice, right? For reprinting cards in the draft box, doing half and half. They can reprint cards from older draft boxes. Like I understand there aren't that many new draft box cards. Like they've only done what, like 3 draft boxes. They're only be doing 3 draft boxes that have exclusive cards only for drafting.
3.
Supposedly, yeah. So I understand like draft box isn't like that concept isn't very like old yet. Like it's still like a new thing, but like they can totally draft box 7. Oh, okay, half this set, half this draft box or new cards, and half this is from draft box 4, and then the next
Well,
draft.
I mean, that's exactly what they try to do with draft box 4.
They didn't do that though. That's the thing.
They reprinted like stuff that would mesh with the draft box, and that didn't work because the cards they chose were just whatever, basically.
Didn't they basically just choose vanilla cards?
They chose like, well, I mean, the Final Showdown Goku was reprinted. That was a good choice, but like, a lot of, they're just like decent, good cards. They're not like game breaking. They're not. I gotta have it.
Also, I was gonna say, like, wasn't that an idea like what they do in the special anniversary boxes, where they get like new cards and they get old cards, but they reprint them as different art styles and everything? Like, didn't we do that before?
Yeah, the anniversary box is supposed to honor our game and give us new arts.
I mean,
But that's the thing. It's not good enough though.
why not just combine the whole thing so that people can just like not complain, it'd be a lot easier, you know? Or they're just trying to be creative to help the idea for the player base.
Just be like, okay, here you go, reprint.
But
I
that,
mean,
I
we
mean,
need a reprint set.
I mean,
Yeah.
we should, especially
I-
for cards for that that's like getting errata. Like it makes it easier for other players and new players to read them carefully instead of just
Yeah.
looking up the
like
rulings.
I said, a master set like Magic has. Magic every year they have a master set where they have highly sought after cards that went out of print or you can't buy any sets anymore, and they reprint them, and you can pull all these reprinted cards. And they're only strictly reprinted cards.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, let's just do that and just make it the game easier and just call it a day.
Yeah, for real. Like, holy crap, Bandai. Why you gotta make everything so freaking complicated?
I mean, but they listen to us, and that's the good
Okay,
part.
well then listen to me now, Bandai. I
No,
beg
no,
of
no,
you. Make a master
no,
set
no, no,
for
no,
Please,
no, no,
please,
no.
Bandai, send them some
good
4
as
tag
well.
team Gohans.
Just
please
help
do.
him out,
You're out.
please. I can't disclaimer this tomorrow, please.
I just want Victory Strike. I want to say I own a Victory Strike, please.
Yeah, Bandai, they hung up on this call. They have just exited the chat room.
Okay. Alright, so I guess that'll be enough for today's episode. It is really a short episode. I was very surprised, but that's pretty fine anyway. Just short and simple. Then we'll go ahead and discuss about that next week. So maybe we might see you guys again. Maybe Angel, Noel, if you guys are free next week.
Hopefully.
If work permits.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. So usually it is going to be me and Gio, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming to today's episode. We had a very good discussion. I hope you guys also enjoyed this video. I hope we could hear from your comments. I know we don't get much comments like we used to, like in the last episodes, but I do appreciate.
I mean, somebody commented on our last video, which was great. You know.
Was it like on Reddit?
No, on the actual YouTube video.
Oh.
They were agreeing with us. It was nice, and I'll shout that person out, and I appreciate that.
Okay, so who's the shout out to?
Well, I don't have it up, but I was just saying.
Well, way to go, man. That's a great shout out for
him. Hey, man. You know, work in progress here.
Okay.
We love you.
Well, whoever you are, we love you and all that. And we do support everything, and we're glad about that, guys. So catch us in the next week's episode. We're hoping to do everything for our big discussion about what's been going on, everything with the whole tournament base, and hopefully maybe we may see some changes. And hope to God, less buyouts, people. Come on. All right, guys. So I do want to thank Noel here.
Yeet.
And I do want to thank Angel.
Yep.
And of course our boy Yeovani.
Like, comment, subscribe, heart our videos.
Exactly.
Love them.
And this is the Fortress Striker, and we're signing off.